All right, Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com, here with Stanford defensive coordinator Bobby April III. So, first of all, I'll just talk about final week of camp. How do you feel the defense is looking from your perspective?
Yeah, we took some big steps. Really over the last 3 days, I was excited about where we're at. Guys are solidifying their jobs, which is really, it's been fun. It's been a fun group to coach.
And just kind of talk about what areas do you feel that the defense has kind of made the biggest strides in from the beginning of this fall camp period until through now?
Yeah, a big focus has been on fundamentals and technique. So those two things are definitely shining right now. As we move into game plan mode and all those things that we're kind of tweaking different styles of defense, we always rely back on those fundamentals and techniques, and those are showing up today.
Yeah, just in general, kind of talk about, it seems to me, at least from my vantage point, that technique has been a big focus on the entire coaching staff, both sides of the ball. Is that something that is coming from the top down from Troy, or just kind of what kind of accounts for that emphasis on technique from across the board?
Yeah, Coach Taylor's one of the best in the country at philosophies of offense and techniques and fundamentals of offensive play, and we've kind of fed off of him. And it's been a big inspiration to us to match his ability to coach. So it's been fun.
Talk about just kind of in general, first of all, just the secondary unit from your perspective. How is that unit looking? Guys like Manley, Colin Wright, Alakai Gilman, just Amari Porter. How is that unit kind of shaping up from your perspective?
Yeah, a young crew, right? A young crew have not been tested yet, right, outside of practice. So it's coming together. They're gelling well. I think they're playing off each other well. It's going to be exciting to see them live.
And then, as far as kind of the front seven group, the linebackers and the D line, how you liking that collective unit there?
Yeah, they play well together, right? Every day we do an inside run drill, and it's really become a physical part of our practice, and it's really led by that front seven. So there's a bunch of leaders in there too, which has been really good for us.
You guys got a lot of personnel that can blitz, and I just kind of, other guys have kind of commented on this being a very active defense. Without getting into too much detail, just talk about what makes this defense that you're implementing so active.
Yeah, well, it's very multiple, right? We have a lot of guys that can do different things. So, the ability to send guys from every angle has been part of what we do. And right now, we're finding the guys that do that the best. Sometimes it's our post safety coming up the middle, and sometimes our corner coming off the edge. But it's been fun watching these guys learn how to do it.
Just in general, do you get me? I've heard the offensive guys are having a blast with what Troy's implementing. Do you get the same sense from your unit that the guys are having fun with this kind of style of defense you're doing?
I do. They're a hungry unit. I can tell you that. There's about 20 to 25 of them up there every night watching practice tape, and they're into it. They're starting to understand what we're asking of them, and I think they're enjoying it. Right? No one's going to tell you it, but I think they're enjoying it. There's smiles on their faces, and they're ready to play.
Just in general, kind of what is the general philosophy regarding physicality in practice? Some programs are a little more careful about not getting too physical. Just how much of an emphasis is there on physicality in practice? And then there is, of course, a risk for injury.
Yeah, there's a fine line there. There's different segments of practice that need to be physical, right? That we preach this is a physical period. And there's others that are tempoed, and the tempo changes every day, right? Is it thud? Is it to the ground? But playing with great technique and great fundamentals allows you to be a physical football player. So we'll see it on tape when you're in the right spot to win.
Talk about the tempo of the offense and just kind of how is the defense kind of adjusting to going up against a more up-tempo offense, and how does that push them to be better?
Yeah, it's fast. It's fast. We're talking about 15 plays in 7 minutes. It's rolling as far as the practice schedule goes, and it's forcing our guys to learn the defense faster. It's forcing them to get the calls in quicker and to get adjusted to be able to go play. Because if the tape's filming it, is what we tell them, that you had enough time to get lined up. So if Gleason get the tape ready, we should be able to get lined up.
Talk about a couple guys I'm interviewing today are going to be R.J. Cooper and David Bailey. Just talk about your experience working with them so far and what you've kind of seen from them from your first working with them in the spring through now.
Yeah, both growing players, right? Both are getting better every day. I'll start with R.J. R.J.'s probably had, I don't know this for a fact, but he's had his best camp with me, right? Meaning that from spring ball to now, he's the best version of himself by far. He's probably made the most leaps as far as a football player has gone. Body style, production has all increased from spring ball to now. Ceiling's very high. I'm excited about him. David is a kid that has a lot of snaps under his belt already, And I think he's starting to understand the defense more and more every day, which is allowing him to be a little bit more free. And when he's free and he can go play without thinking, he's a special player.
Yeah, and also to talk about Wisconsin transfer linebacker Spencer Lytle in the middle. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but just talk about what you think he's going to bring to the linebacker unit.
Yeah.
What has he brought? And Gaithan Bernadelle as well, those two guys.
Yeah, so Spencer Lytle, he's a Swiss Army knife for us. He's able to play all 4 linebacker spots. He knows the defense really well. He's got leadership ability, so guys can ask him questions about what he's seeing and how he sees it. He's been in it, right? So 4 years of playing in that defense has allowed him some expertise in different areas. Gaithan's been outstanding. We were excited about him when we got him in the transfer portal for sure. We weren't sure exactly, right, who he was going to be when he got here. He learned the defense really quickly, and he's going to be a machine.
Final question for you, just in general, how excited do you feel your unit is to finally play in a real game after going against each other? About a week and change from now, you guys will be strapping it up in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's hard to describe the excitement, I'm sure. The energy is really high. There's going to be a lot of anxiety, a lot of young kids that haven't played many snaps. We have to keep them under control to start the game, but the excitement will definitely not be a factor. We're not going to have to give them any raw speeches for sure.
Perfect.